Hi everyone, this is my second demonstration on Org-remark. Org-remark is an Emacs package that I have been developing and using. It lets you highlight and annotate any text files, and with the new version 1.1.0, websites with EWW, which is the built-in Emacs web browser. Before talking about the new features and functions, let me quickly recap and show you how it works real quick. And also, I wanted to show you one of the features that I didn't clearly mention in my previous video, which is to create custom pens with a category and how it might be used in your case. And then, secondly, I'll show you new features. Let's dive in. Now, here in front of us, we have a text buffer. Now, how you can highlight is super simple. Select a piece of text like this, and then invoke or call the command org-remark mark. That highlights the selected text. Or just let me also highlight a couple of more, modern style in English. If you have an Emacs version 28 or later, you can also turn on the context menu like this, and then highlight from the context menu. This is exactly the same set of menu items that you see on the application bar or menu bar on top. So let me just use blue pen as an example, Belle Epoque. I think this is misspelled. I think this should be like this. Okay. And another highlight, default pen, green. So like so. Now, how do I then add annotations or notes to these highlighted areas or highlight text? That's also simple. Firstly, you open up the notes with open. And then on the side buffer, a normal org mode appears. That's where you can type in your annotations and notes. You don't have to have notes, but you can add notes. So let me put some notes for Belle Epoque like this, and then save. So this is how you add annotations. Super simple. Now, sorry, just go back. And then once you've added highlights and annotations, you can also intuitively, just normally, edit the text around the highlights. Basically, they follow the text around it as they are edited. So this is how Org-remark works with annotations and highlights. Very simple and easy to use, I believe. Now, moving on to one of the features I didn't fully explain last time is custom pens. So Org-remark lets you create your own custom pen. So let me just open this file. It's simple to use, I believe. You use Org-remark create macro and then provide label or name to it. And the other two import parameters or parameters arguments are optional. The first one is basically a list of faces to basically change the colors, right? And then second optional parameter, the last parameter, is essentially intended to be used for category, and we'll see how this works. So here, I'm trying to create a new custom pen called exam pen. And let me highlight, evaluate this to create it. And then I'm going to go back to the previous page, and let's just select plants and flowers just so that you understand. And then add Org-remark, highlight with, as you can see, the newly created exam pen is automatically added to the menu item. And then just select, like this. And then also I'm going to do Art Nouveau here, text, highlight, exam pen. Super simple to do. Now, what this is useful for, as an example, let me open. And then, like I said, this side buffer or the notes file is just a standard org mode. So I'm going to just, unnarrow everything. And you can see all these highlighted text. And then the power is the last one, Art Nouveau, actually has the exam as a category. So that has come from the pen. And then, when the time comes when you need to study for an exam, you can use the standard org function called org sparse tree. I think by default it's bound to cc /. I'm going to just call it from the menu, from the MX menu, and then select P option, property option, and that let me select category. You see it on the top, and then I have a exam category in this note, so I'm going to just filter this org file via the exam category. Now you can see those two. So, this might, I believe, would allow you to sort of filter your notes depending on the type or category of the pens you create. So, yeah, this is the feature I wanted to show you. You can create a custom pen with a new category. Let's move on to the new features in this new version. There's two new features. One is to show annotations in tooltips and help echo. And the second one is highlight and annotate websites with EWW, the built-in browser. Now, both of these features are achieved by great contributions of the contributors. Just wanted to give a warm shout out to Muzi Boots for the echo text update, and also Vedang for the EWW mode support. Thank you so much, both of you. Greatly appreciate it. Now, moving on, and first one is show annotations. So I'm going to just turn on the tooltip mode first, and then go back to the text. And then let me add, I think I added some text into the Art Nouveau last one, I believe. Maybe not. Just open. I didn't add anything. Okay, annotations to Nouveau, and then I'm going to save this, and that should update the annotations that you would see on the tooltip. Okay, I think there's a bit of a delay here, but yes, as you can see, the annotations from the left, the notes buffer appears as the tooltip on the right-hand side in the main text buffer, right? I can also edit this, save, and then that edit would synchronize with the text buffer. So that's tooltip mode. I'm going to also turn off tooltip mode, and if tooltip mode is disabled, as you can see right now at the bottom left part, the annotations appear in the help echo area, which the mini buffer normally appears, right? So that's the update number one. The annotations in tooltips or help echo, depending on the tooltip mode activation. Right, the second update is integration or support for EWW mode. So I'm gonna get into a web browser and a Wikipedia and then show you how it works. I mean, essentially, it's the same way of working with text files and other text files. Let me just highlight European academic traditions, and then highlight with exam pen as an example. Same thing. And then exactly the same way. And it doesn't matter what I'm highlighting at the moment, but just considerations involved. And highlight with default pen, like this. And then I open up the notes buffer on the side, and then add annotations. That then appears, as you can see, the tooltip mode is disabled at the moment, so you would see the annotation in the help echo area at the bottom where mini buffer should normally appear. Right, so this is the second update, very useful, I think, and very powerful with Org-remark EWW mode. Now, one final detail about the customization. So the question about this customization is, where is the default notes buffer or notes file stored for EWW? The answer is you can use this customization. Org-remark notes file name. That's a customizing variable. So by default, it's your Emacs user Emacs directly. In my case, it's .config/Emacs, and then the file name is marginalia.org. This is a variable, so you can customize it, and I'm going to customize this one. And then, as you can see, if it's a string, it should be a file name, and if it is a function, so you can either set it to a string, which becomes a file name, or a function, right? And I'm going to just do the customize. So at the moment, I have set it to a default function, and this is the function. And if I just quickly evaluate this function, Org-remark notes file. So that's as you can see, the value returns with the standard config, my user Emacs directory, and marginalia.org is the file name. So you can adjust the location of the file and by overriding or creating your custom function and set the variable or customizing variable to your own function like this. So that's how it works for customizing. Now, today, as a summary, we have seen just a quick recap of basics of Org-remark, and then I showed you a create custom pen feature with a category and how you might be able to use the category as an example of an exam pen to use the sparse tree from Org mode. The second part, I demonstrated two new features. One is to display annotations in tooltip or help echo. And second feature is highlighting, annotating websites with EWWW. With this, thank you very much for listening, and talk to you later.